really need is just your nearest and dearest.
Definitely. And it's been great. I've met some great sports people, Conor McGregor being one of them, Tyson Fury. Good friends with an England rugby player, Ellis Genge, and I'm a massive England rugby fan. So you meet some fantastic people. Eddie Hearn being one of them, who's my promoter, I grew up watching. But most people in that environment are good people anyway, and you're a good person no matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you've got a normal job or you're this celebrity like Conor McGregor. Just find the good in people, and that's all that matters.
So talking about Tyson Fury, you're about to have your first fight, and then you get a call from Tyson Fury. Is that
my
right?
full fight it was. I had 3 fights, but this had been my first fight in front of a crowd after COVID, and got a call to go up and spar him. So it was amazing to be able to have that opportunity. Met John Fury as well, Sugar Hill, and what an experience it was.
What a big human being Tyson Fury is. Like, his hands are massive. Like, what's it like going up sparring against? Like, how much power do you release when you're sparring a guy like that?
You go all out every spar, really. Like, you're not going to hold your power back. You might hold back the intensity sometimes in terms of how, like, sometimes you spar people with less experience than you, and you might catch them and then back off. But sometimes the spars are very heated. I've had many heated spars with my good friend Joe Joyce. But if I'm going to go and do some work for Tyson Fury, I need to give the best account of myself, because he's not wanting me to go up there just to mess around. I've got to give him some good work. How
much of an advantage is that height and reach that Tyson Fury has?
If used well, it's a big advantage, but being tall is not always an amazing thing. The overhand right, you can be caught with quite easily. You keep dropping your hands, you're a big target. It all depends on how you use it and what tactics you implement. If you're a tall man, you want to use your reach, you want to use your jab. If you're a shorter man, you want to rough it up and get on the inside. But everyone's different. Every boxer's different. Mike Tyson was a world champion, and as you said, Tyson Fury's been a world champion, and they're both completely polar opposite builds. Yeah. So it's all about how you harness your own personal skills.
What's your style?
Aggressive, instinctively aggressive. I can't change that.
Is that pressure, trying to put pressure on your
putting opponent? Pressure on the opponent. But I think I'm maturing in that now and learning that I can box as well. I can do that. I haven't had to show too much of that yet, but in the gym, sparring, I've got good boxing skills, and it's all to do with your subconscious and relaxing a bit when you're in the ring. Now I've done it 12 times, you do it again and again, the nerves don't get you as much, you're not as tense, and I can hopefully deliver better performances, and the knockouts will be more fluid that way,
Well, you're known to be a knockout puncher. 11 knockouts out of 12 fights. That's a pretty solid record so far already. We see them
overhand,
overhand. Like, it looks like that's like your favorite punch. Like, you go. I see you go body bang overhead. Like, you seem to mesmerize your opponent. Like, they've got to be some impactful punches for them to be putting their guard down.
That's good. And my instincts and my natural power is something I never want to take away from myself. That's how naturally I am, and it's just about refining that, using your jab more, picking the right moments to explode, because there will be some really tough guys out there. I've already fought a tough guy in my 5th fight, Spanish heavyweight champion, and I broke my hand in that fight, got cut in the first 30 seconds on my eye. I couldn't see out of that eye, and I still got the victory. But sometimes people are going to be tough and things aren't going to go your way, so you need to learn how to use your boxing skills as well,
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some of your fights, being that we're on that topic. So when you fought Musil,
Dominic Musil, from the Czech Republic. I fought him
round 1,
29th of October 2022, and round 1 job. He was really up for it. I remember him to my part of my management team, Shane Watson, still a good friend of mine. He went to go and watch him wrap his hands, and Musil went to Shane Watson. He went like that to him, so he was bang up for it. But that was over in a minute.
That was a quick one. Then Dimitri Bezus.
That's my
February 3rd?
February the 3rd this year, American debut in Las Vegas. That was an honour. He'd fought for the WBO European title just a couple of fights before that, or 1 fight before that. Big old unit. Only been beat once, had 10 victories, 1 loss, and blew him away from there. I was happy about that because I got cut in the build-up to that fight as well on my nose.
Oh, no.
And I had to hide it a little bit, and I was fine, but it's got a risk of coming back open, and that's never good when a cut comes open. So got it done quickly.
Does that make you fight differently when you've got an injury going into a fight where...
It makes you think about it in the build-up, but once you're in that changing room and you're going out to fight, you just go, you just do it. But it does affect your training preparation. I couldn't train for a week. I just had to walk. I couldn't spar for the last 4 weeks of my camp. So you've got these little thoughts in your mind: am I fit enough? Have I done? And the preparations weren't the best for that camp, but you just get on and you get it done.
So mentally, how do you prepare?
It's a fight at the end of the day, and you think in your head, if I had to go and have a fight on the street now, would I back myself? So it's that killer mentality you've got to have no matter what happens. You can prepare as well as you want, but if your brain's not switched on, it doesn't matter if you prepare for 10 weeks or you prepared for 1 week, you've still got to have the same mentality.
But you came on top, 9 seconds left of the first round. Bosh.
Round 1, bosh.
And it was in Las Vegas. Tell us about Las Vegas.
Great place. I've trained there a few times before with my good friend Joe Joyce, sparring over there when he was preparing for Joe Parker. I sparred Carlos Takam over there as well.
Wow.
And a few other heavyweights who were coming through. Jeremiah Milton being one of them, who was a USA Olympic trials candidate. I think he came second in the whole of the USA. And it's been a great experience. The food it's amazing food, but for a training camp, it's not the best. So that was a stress. That was something I had to overcome. Luckily, I was staying in the Plaza Hotel where I've got on today.
Oh.
Jonathan Jossel, shout out to Jonathan Jossel, a great man, the CEO of Plaza Hotel, which is one of the most iconic places in Las Vegas. So before you had the main strip in Las Vegas, the Wynn, the Bellagio, the downtown area, Fremont Street, as it's known now, that was the original Las Vegas. And have you seen the film Casino with Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci?
Yeah.
It's actually filmed in this hotel, the Plaza. And what a film that is. And that was, we had a restaurant there called Goodman's, Oscar Goodman's. And he was the man who represented their mob bosses in the casino, in the casino film. There's a lot of history there and a lot of politics that goes on within Vegas, and what a place it was. And the hospitality there was amazing. A lot of our fans brought about 300-400 fans from England over there. They all stayed in the hotel, and really old school place. It's like going back to 1985 and you're in old school Las Vegas. So what a place it was. And that was brilliant for my preparation, because I had a bayside, my recovery in there, the hot pools, the cold pools, somewhere just to relax and chill and have some good food, because around Vegas there's not the best food and options, but that Oscar Steakhouse was fantastic.
Yeah. You talk about fighting abroad in Las Vegas. How different is it to fighting in front of an English crowd and an environment that you're sort of used to, where these are like, you think of Las Vegas, you just think of massive shows, big lights, everything's bigger and better.
Yeah, this is quite interesting actually. This was quite a small show really, because it was in the Chelsea. It's only about 3,000-4,000 people venue, but my fans made up the majority of it. As I said, about 400 fans, and that was still great. What was more different is the fact that you've got a different commission, different officials, different way of doing things, different drugs testing, and it's all a new environment. But that's good for me, because when I go back there in maybe 4, 5, 6 fights time and fight in America again, then I'm in a great position to know that I've already done all this before.
Yeah. Some boxers, so I know there was one boxer, I can't remember his name now, but he went to fight in Africa. And as he's gone to fight in Africa, he said they played some dirty tactics out there. The hotel will all of a sudden...
Wrong hotel and
exactly,
not good food, putting you in a bad place.
That's exactly, yeah.
You've got to be careful. These things are all underhanded things that happen in boxing. Boxing can be a Wild West sport sometimes, There's no barriers to entry into boxing. If I wanted to turn around and say I'm stopping boxing and become a boxing manager right now, if you wanted to become a boxing manager, you can, which is a great thing about it, because there's no barriers, but... There's a lack of regulations going into it, which is a good and bad thing, because you get some interesting characters in boxing.
Have you experienced anything dodgy?
Nothing really. I'm very lucky to have a great team. Adam Morley, my management, and some great advisors around me. Matchroom Boxing, a very stand-up company. Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn always pay their fighters on time. Great characters. The story between them two is amazing, and just very, very privileged to be in the position I'm in. Come from my own hard work, and I've just got to keep going. And as long as I keep performing, I'll be all right.
Yeah. What's the main difference between Matchroom Boxing and Queensbury? So you got Frank Warren on one side, and you got Eddie Hearn the other side. Like, is there certain things that come in the air when you're thinking, I want to go towards this company more than the other?
Yeah, well, I don't have much experience with Frank Warren, and I still regard Frank Warren as a legend, a Hall of Fame promoter. Promoted some of the best fighters in the world, and to still be around in the game now, in a world like boxing, he's got to be well respected. But the one thing I can say, and I have noticed, is the production of the shows at Matchroom are second to none. When I go to some Queensbury shows, I do think, wow, Matchroom really do put on a show. Even when I go to Sky shows, Matchroom are the kings at putting on a production, and all I'm going to say on that matter is that they're number one with that.
And that's what you want to be a part of as well.
Yeah, you want to be a part of good nights and big nights and delivers the best for the fans. The security are the best. They always make sure...